here, duluan masih anak kos-kosan, everywhere we go, naik Kopaja, naik roller dan so on. So, very struggling in Jakarta, but for me because gue bukan dari keluar orang kaya dari awal kan, kayak gue bilang. Jadi gue bilang, gue nggak akan manjain dengan materi ya, gitu.
Hi speeders, welcome to another episode of Speeder Talks, where we talk about cars, business, philosophy, and everything else in between. Hari ini again we are hosted by Regent Residences with beautiful 360 view of Jakarta, and we have as always, a very special guest, a very well-known lawyer and also a car enthusiast, maybe a motorcycle enthusiast first. Tapi that's what we're gonna talk about, Mas Febby Sagita.
Hi Mike.
Thank you, Mas Febby, for coming.
My pleasure.
Aduh, it's an honor to have you.
Yeah, same to me as well.
Kita terakhir ketemunya biasanya di acara event mobil.
Yes.
Acara event mobil. Tapi pertama kali was at your office, right?
Yes.
Yeah, close by di sini at
that's true.
Your law firm.
Yep.
That's where you're a partner, managing partner ya Mas.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing. So it's an honor.
Small firm.
Small but powerful ya kan, kayak cabai kecil tapi kayak making an impact. So thank you Mas and for coming. Tadi I cannot help but see your very beautiful GT3 datang ke sini. Kedengeran dulu sebelum bisa kelihatan mobilnya. So tell me about the car. So it's tahun berapa and udah berapa tahun you've had it, Mas?
I had it for 2 years already. It was 2022. I think about September. Yeah, this September gonna be 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. Okay.
Yeah. It was the first batch of GT3 yang keluar pada waktu itu kan. So even back then there's from the ATPM in Indonesia they don't have it, so we have to order through the general importer to UK because we have a right-hand drive, so we have to order to UK, right? So ya banyak lah waktu itu orang-orang juga pesan sama dari UK and so on. After that baru kemudian ATPM masukin kan di sini. But,
jadi ini Mas Febby spec from the configurator.
Yeah, because we can order we can add up, right? So the standard you can add up the tail light, the stitches, roll bar, brakes, color, and everything. So basically it's customized.
Customer's spec play. Ya?
Yes.
What was the most expensive option that you kayak maybe on the fence kayak ini gue perlu banget?
Brakes is one of the most expensive ones.
Carbon ceramic brakes.
Carbon ceramics is about I think almost 300 million.
What?
For the carbon ceramic.
Wow.
And then the rest is small part like 10 million, 15 million. So total add up is more or less back then is about 50 or 60,000 USD.
Wow.
Yeah.
In options?
Oh yeah, just the options.
Just the options ya?
Just the options.
Dan waktu itu, how long did it take? 8 months deh? Biasanya kan or about 8 to 10 months?
Yes, but more or less not. But so 6 or 7 months. But without the shipping what? Takes another 1 bulan. Yeah, more or less like 8 to 9 months. Yeah.
So, what made you choose the GT3 out of all the cars?
So before I owned the GT3, I owned 997. It's a turbo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my dream car.
It's quite nice. Still a small body.
Yeah.
Large tail.
Yeah.
It's a 2010.
Warna apa, Mas? Hitam?
Black. Yeah. It's a black one. Wow. Very nice. It's not much di sini kan.
Yes.
997, especially in turbo. And it was really mint condition. So I used to have some other brand as well, but since I drove Porsche, people gonna say that try the other brand first. Mm-hmm. Put a Porsche at the latest one.
Okay.
Because once you try Porsche, you're not gonna go back to the others. That's the jokes. That's the jokes. But
in reality,
it got me. Yeah, it got me. So akhirnya, I don't know, the handling, the power is not so intimidating. The car is so forgiving. If you are entry skill level of a driver, it's not really intimidating to you. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's easy to handle, not like the big power from the other brands, but it's very hard to handle. There's so many crashes, so many accidents. But I think, except for the very limited, some some cases for the Porsche, but that one is I cannot say this is more like rather not commercial car for the Porsche. But for the commercial car for the Porsche, it's mostly from the range of the turbo and the non-turbo. Yeah, the NA engine is quite forgiving and not so intimidating when you're driving it. Yeah.
And if not one-off, it is the best transmission in the market sekarang.
Yes,
The PDK.
yes, that's true.
And itu di bawah is it it's a PDK,
PDK,
ya?
it's a PDK.
Yeah, so it's
Cannot handle the manual Jakarta.
Ya, tadi-
Macet.
Iya.
Macet banget.
Benar. Dan ada yang touring juga kan?
Ada
kan
GT
manual
touring.
juga. It's more subtle lah ya.
Yeah, like
touringnya.
Speedster is also touring kan. Also manual kan,
yes.
gitu.
Banyak banget di sini ya Mas.
Dia banyak dan
What?
banyak banget dan it's quite lucky to have Speedster because it's a numbered one, right? So the production is limited. And the investment grade is
Udah high.
it's good. It's a good one.
So GT3 kalau dari Mas Febby, I'm guessing it's really you're a driver. It's a driver's car.
Yeah.
Not an investment car. It's something.
No,
yang
I'm
benar-benar
not really.
Gak mikirin kayak you just
Not really.
miles per gallon.
It's more like I'm enjoying driving it.
Yeah.
The 510 horsepower
More
is
than-
enough in Jakarta. You don't go anywhere.
High rev.
So even though I think Porsche still number one in Upbringing, right? For the lap time. Yeah. Compared to the other competitors like 720, 800 horsepower and V8 and so on and so forth. But again, with the only 6 liters engine, 4,000 cc, where it can beat the others. So it's not a matter of how big the engine is, right?
Yes.
So how big the horsepower, but the handling of the cars, the agility of the cars. So I think Porsche is giving it all to the car, so the others cannot compete on it.
Iya, dan suaranya juga mantep banget.
Yeah.
It's loud enough. You don't need
Yeah,
to
for the NA engine, it's quite loud.
Dan dari turbo ke NA beda banget Mas. What was it, night and day?
It's a bit different because turbo there's still lag.
There's a lag, yeah. It's faster.
It's faster, of course.
Yeah.
The standard turbo S for the Porsche is about 800 plus horsepower, and it's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's also 4-wheel drive, right?
Yes.
So even though it's horsepower is big for the turbo S and 4-wheel drives, but when you bring the cars to the track, you cannot beat the GT3.
Yeah.
That's why the GT3 said that the cars that very precise. Very precise. Precise in terms of the horsepower is not so big. The handling is so precise. The car is very agile. I mean, it's not that something that really hard to master.
Yeah. And one of the best soundings lah itu kalau dibilang.
Yeah.
For the GT3.
I mean, it was best sounding, I cannot say. But
Okay. Ini kita mesti ngomongin mantan nih Mas kalau kayak gini kalau gitu. Okay. So right now, let's talk about the collection. So your car, your main collection sekarang is a GT3. Do you have any other cars? So I know you're a motorcycle guy.
Mostly motorcycles.
Motorcycle.
basically.
Okay.
But,
So this is your car. This is your go-to car.
cars, I used to have some. I have a Ferrari 360, 430.
Yeah. How was that?
They are good, basically. It's an old version of the Ferrari for sure. It's 2006 and 2010.
Early 2000 yang 360 ya.
And still NA engine, no turbo. The last NA is a 458, but 430 is still with the manual clutch. And the sound of the V8 from the 360 and the 360 even much better than the 430.
I have to agree.
Yeah, 360 notes is different from the 430 notes.
Lebih high pitch ya.
Correct. So it's a totally different. Totally different. You cannot and basically when you heard it, you know that this is 360, not the 430.
Yeah.
But the newest version of Ferrari, like the 488, they got turbo, and then now 296 with a battery. the engine is not so louder
Yeah.
compared to
The
the
hybrid,
360. Yes.
Yeah.
So it was nice, but because of the car's a bit old technology, not so agile. It's very hard to drive. You have to get a bit of high skill level to master it. I mean, if you are just a regular driver, just a standard driver, maybe your driving skill about 6 or 7. I'm not suggest you driving Ferrari, high speed at a road and so on. So every situation happened to you at that time, it's very hard to control.
Yeah.
Even when we ride, even for me, when I tried Ferrari and so on, when you reach to a certain level of speed, like above 200s, sometimes we feel that, wow, this car is like got their own thinking, It's not like you in the car.
Unpredictable.
Yes. So like, wow, this car want to do something. So you have to predict that.
I see.
So for me, even the 296, I tried once. It's crazy fast. So it's crazy fast. But still, I cannot feel that I'm into the car as well. Like the car with me is not like one soul.
Yeah.
So I have to know that this is not straight away to feel, this is mine. That's
has a mind of its
yeah,
own.
that's what I
Apalagi
felt back then.
now it has a bunch of technology packed into the car, a lot of help, assistance, and everything else.
Basically, it's okay, but still, for me, I kind of feel the agility of the newest Ferrari. Maybe I haven't tried the 488 or 458 is more or less the same. The 488, but they said the 488 Pista is much better at the track, but I never tried the 296 at the track as well. So maybe one day.
Maybe one day. And you always brought your cars into to the track to experience, or
I brought my GT3 once in Mandalika, and now I'm competing in the Porsche Sprint Challenge Indonesia with the GT3 Cup.
Yeah.
Also GT3, but another breed, especially only for racing. It's only for racing.
Yeah. So your first, bisa dibilangnya supercar, sports car is the 360. Was that your first one? Or?
Yes, correct. The 360. That was the first.
And did you dream one day I'm gonna have a Porsche, or was that was the prancing horse sort of the childhood dream? You know what? When I make it, I'm gonna get a Ferrari first.
No, I'm more into the motorcycles.
A motorcycle.
So basically, so even though I love F1, I love back then my idol is Schumacher, and now it's Lewis Hamilton, but it always Rossi in my head.
Okay.
Back then, when I was a child, and then to have a big bike, have a race with a motorbike and so on. That was the dreams back then. So I started racing with the motorbikes in 2013 to 2017.
Okay.
So and then old enough. so because motorcycle is very tiring, right? So motorbike is not an easy thing, especially at the track. So when I reach 40 plus, I think it's time to stop because it's very demanding of physically
demanding. So when you were younger, you've always been into motorcycles.
Dari motorcycles, dari kecil banget. Jadi kayak apa-apa liatnya, wah Rossi. Kalau kepala itu cuma Yamaha, Ducati, Honda, Honda sampai.
Okay.
So, but when I was active in the motorcycles in the community, I was a president of MV Agusta in Indonesia.
Okay. That was in the
2013, 2017. Yeah. So MV Agusta is one of the Italian brand as well.
Yeah.
Very prestigious. It's what we call it, the motorcycle art. It is like Pagani of the cars. It's like Pagani. Pagani cannot compare Pagani to Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
Cannot compare Pagani to another brand like Lambo. Pagani is a Pagani, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So MV Agusta we cannot compare to Ducati as well. Cannot compare to the other brands. MV Agusta is the ultimate arts of the motorcycles. Yeah.
I didn't know it was that high of a
it is. Even though the technology is not there. I mean, they are very far behind compared to Ducati and so on. But in terms of the selling price, they are more pricey compared to Ducati.
I see.
Yeah. So that's why only people who knows the brand knows the value of the brand itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your first sports bike then? Let's backtrack a little bit.
It was Ducati.
It was a Ducati.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back then I never heard actually MV Agusta.
Okay.
Even though there are 37 times MotoGP championship back then, since I think around the 50s to 70s.
Okay.
They're winning MotoGP's championship until 37 times.
Wow.
Yeah, but we never heard of it, right? Because we were born at 70 plus, and then what we know is Rossi with the Hondas.
Yeah.
So it was Ducati, my first big bike,
Okay.
and then
What model? I don't know motorcycles much.
it's a entry level. I bought a Monster.
A Monster. Okay.
Yeah, it's a road bike,
Yeah.
and then after year after that, I went to the MV Agusta showroom. I got a new bike there. They call the name is a Brutale.
Okay.
Very nice.
Very
Then
Italian.
I said, "Can I trade my bike with this?" Yeah, they can. So, okay, so they set my bike. They traded. So I got a new MV Agusta, and after that, I bought another one, another one, until it's piled up in my house.
MV Agustas, yeah.
I used to have
all
how much? I used to have 5 MV Agustas. Now I only have 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Only have 4.
Yeah. Only that brand. Only that brand.
Okay.
But I got some other brand as well because this is like the cars as well, right? When you like Porsche, people love Ferraris for the brand. You know, it represents lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right? It represents the what people gonna say kayak kesuksesan.
Yes,
gitu kan.
yes.
Ferrari is a brand yang sangat mature kan.
Yes,
Maksudnya kita nggak bisa comparein bahwa lu buy Lexus yang paling mahal sekalipun gitu misalkan dengan harga yang mirip dengan harga Ferrari, Lexus is ya Lexus,
Yes,
gitu.
yes.
Ferrari is Ferrari.
Yeah,
Gitu. Ya, lambangnya, lambang kesuksesannya, lambang kemapanannya, lambang kemacurannya kan beda gitu.
Yes.
So some people prefer to have that kind of things, you know. Some people love to drive.
Yeah.
Gitu. Jadi
Personal ininya.
personal, very very subjective.
Yes.
Very subjective.
So, how many motorcycles do you have as a collection sekarang? Or you lost track?
No, it's not lost track. I think 11 or 12.
Whoa, my goodness.
But it's not much.
It's not much. We have the
I sold-
humblest guy here, ladies and gentlemen.
I sold some of them already.
So at the peak itu what was your collection udah 21?
No, because the problem is not with the collection. The problem is with the garage. Cannot
I
put it in my
see.
garage anymore. So it's very packed and so on. So I think I have to sell one or sell 2, buy one or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good problem to have. Garasinya udah nggak muat. Okay. So waktu itu in car communities biasanya each brand and each community is very different, right?
Correct.
The type of people you meet.
Yes.
How you carry yourself. Itu juga is the same with motorcycles juga between Ducati,
yes,
MV Agusta.
Yes, it's quite the same. What we call in some of the clubs they have politics, right? In some of the clubs they don't really care about it.
Always.
Some of the clubs they love to go to parties. Some of the clubs they love to go to touring. So.
And what do you vibe with the most? Paling cocok yang
MV Agusta is one of MV Agusta is a kind of similar like PCI, not really formal. Don't really have the politics inside, but compared to Ducati and Ferrari, who very formal.
Yes.
So
Ducati kayak Ferrari, so would you
so
say it's a similar
kind of
vibe?
Kind of. They're really similar.
Okay.
So
Waktu itu Ferrari owners juga ikut juga, Foci.
Enggak sempat.
Baru sekarang Porsche PCI main
aja.
aktif ya Mas ya.
Well,
Every now and then.
yeah. Cannot say active.
Iya. Ya ikut lah ya, kalau makan ngopi gitu masih bisa ikut. So what do you drive since we're more towards cars? Day to day-nya Mas Febby biasanya what's your daily beat?
I drive G400.
Okay.
It's,
Diesel.
Diesel. It's a diesel one.
How do you like that car?
It's very good. I mean, it's a nice car. Even the consumption is not that bad.
Yeah.
1.8, 1.9.
Okay.
And in the city, don't afraid of the flood. Kan mau banjir kayak, jalan jelek atau traffic and so on, because it's big, right?
Yeah.
Big cars tend to intimidate people.
Yeah. Especially here, I don't know.
Yeah, especially in Jakarta. So,
orang-orang.
that's why there's an anecdote and joke-joke yang soal Fortuner lah, Pajero lah. Because it is true. Because once you are samping-sampingan dengan mobil besar itu, when you are driving a small car, it's a bit intimidated loh.
Yeah.
Gitu. Apalagi kan di Jakarta semrawut ya.
Yeah.
Kalau mungkin di luar negeri, people don't really care about it. Because
Yeah.
traffic is not, and then people tend to more educated when driving, right? So like Indonesia, wah.
Yes, benar-benar. It's funny soalnya kalau di luar negeri, people follow the rules, tapi road rage-nya lebih banyak. Because once you break the rules, they get sensitive. Di sini there are no rules, jadi in a way jadi kayak
kalau di sini ya
ikutin aja. Or they're in the midst of chaos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ngomongin lalu lintas Jakarta sih nggak ada habisnya. We have to another session of the podcast.
Yeah, it was an hour by itself. Oh, G400D. Okay. So you have a driver, or you usually drive by yourself?
Sometimes if I have a lot of appointments, I go drive. Use my
and you're
driver.
okay with him driving the G400?
Yeah, because my house basically is not far away from the office. It's just like 4 Ks. So so like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't mind just driving to the office and then I'm back home late in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's a bit,
You enjoy driving.
I enjoy the driving as well. And then it's not that far.
Dan nggak terlalu kena ganjil genap.
Unless kayak a lot of appointments, I have to park here and there, and then I have to use my driver.
I ever thought about going EV, Mas, with all the...
I guess so. Got some thinking of to have EV. G also.
Udah
EV,
moving.
Right? So,
Walaupun Mercedes took back all the EQ models.
Correct. But the problem with all the top brands, I mean like Mercedes, BMWs, their EVs is considered still too pricey for the Indonesian market. But while the other competitors, like even the Japanese, cannot compete with the Chinese brand. I think Chinese brand is more affordable for the Indonesian people, Indonesian market. And I mean, this is new things. I mean, the production cost of the EV that makes the cost of the price of the purchase price of the cars itself become very expensive. If you see the cars itself, basically, it's a cheap one.
Yeah,
it's not a car that very sophisticated that's using so high tech materials and so on. But buying an EV like the standard models, you spend about 500 million, 700 million. It's quite a lot for even for the conventional car.
Yeah.
I mean, for the combustion car, 700 is still expensive.
Yeah. Oh, even though cars are just getting ridiculously expensive in general sekarang ya nowadays.
Yeah, but you got the benefit of having an EV, right? Because low tax yearly, you don't have to spend much for the tax. I mean, the consumption of the electricity is also low. I mean, the running cost of the EV is quite low, but in terms of resale value, the forecast at the moment it will not be so good. Yeah, because you'll see the resale value of some of the existing models already drops to 30 to 40%. Only for about 1 or 2 years is very much. It's too much for a new car. But in terms of running cost, it's good. Yeah. But the resale value definitely not there.
So you're still holding back on that, masih?
Yeah. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. It's a we'll see situation. Yeah. So you're more of a motorcycle guy. I guess one question I have is, we were chatting a little bit yesterday, a few days ago, a couple of weeks ago actually, about motorcycles and being one with the machine.
Yeah.
Compared to kalau orang awam mungkin ngelihatnya kayak in a motorcycle it's you protecting a metal vehicle, and inside a car it's a metal vehicle that's protecting you. But bedanya, are you more of a motorcycle guy now at this age, or masih?
No.
Masih more of a car guy?
I cannot say I'm a car guy or motorcycle guy, but for me, motorcycle is another thing, you know. I told you once that it's like they have their own souls, right? And when I said that, you have to connect with the bikes to know what they want and what you want. You know, you cannot push them to do what you want because they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You have to know them. Now, in order to know them, you have to be with them as much as possible. Practice, you know, riding a lot. Sampai akhirnya kayak kita ngerasain bahwa lu mau ngapain aja pasti ngikut nih, gitu. Kayaknya kalau sampai gue begini pun lu pasti akan begini, gitu. Nah, to reach that kind of level, you need hours, right?
It's like an exercise, like playing tennis or a sport.
Yeah, it's just like our sports as well, right? So the more hours you got with the bikes, the more you know the bike itself, you know, how they behave.
Yeah.
Now, because when you know how they behave, you just follow the behavior. Yeah. You not push your behavior and their behavior in two different ways.
Yeah, udah connected.
Yeah, so when you're connected with
frequency.
them, so it's like riding a small one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I see that you're active with the Porsche Sprint Challenge. I think the last year,
Yeah, it was last year, the first season. Yeah.
How was that? What was the decision-making process? Were you, okay, I have a GT3 now for 1 year at the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's time to go a bit serious. What made you decide to go to Porsche Sprint Challenge? Because it's the first of its kind juga sih di Indonesia.
First of its kind. It's a one-make race. So it was, I think it was announced and published to the market back in 2023, I think about July or something.
Okay.
So the idea is to have, because there's a pinnacle of a post program in the world. So the basic one is what you call the Porsche driving school, and then there's a Porsche Sprint Challenge, and then Porsche Carrera Cup, and then Porsche GT. After Carrera, there's another one.
Yeah, benar.
The pinnacle is the Le Mans 24.
Yes.
That's the pinnacle of the Porsche event, Porsche program. So they introduced. So I said that it's been a while. I've never raced. I'm not gonna race bike anymore because will not be there with the physical and so on and so forth. So
it's demanding banget.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, racing cars is also physically demanding. Yeah, we had a couple of races you mentioned.
Yeah, it's physically demanding, but not as like bikes demanding you.
Yeah.
So I talked to my wife. I said that there's a car event, there's racing and so on, and she said that you should go for it. I mean, you love to race, right?
Dapat visa.
Yeah. So and then I decided to buy.
Okay. So it is a GT3 track spec lah.
Yeah, just a GT3 Cup.
Okay.
Yeah, they call it a Cup car. They call it Cup car. Basically, it's
left-hand drive, right?
Yeah. All around the world, it's a left-hand drive, so you cannot order the right-hand drive because it's a homologated GT3 for the race. So everywhere in the world, it's the same spec. So even you can sell it back if you after 2 to 3 years you don't want to race anymore, you can sell it back to Canada, to States, or maybe to Europe, or even Japan or Korea. You can sell it to anywhere basically because it's not a paper one, so you don't get paper with the car.
It's not road legal,
it's that's why we put it when we store it in Mandalika, because Mandalika is a bonded area, so we don't have to pay the tax and so on. Unless if we bring it to Jakarta, then we have to pay for the, what we call it, the custom bond, to get the permit to bring the car outside of the bonded area. But after that, you have to bring it back to the bonded area.
I see.
So,
and how was that experience in the first?
It's a good one. It's not an easy. I mean, but they said that because I used to race in motorcycles, right? They said that you will get the feelings. You catch up the
Faster, like,
faster. You know. I'm the only one who never had any racing experience in the grid. From the other
Okay.
competitors, there are 10 people, there are 10 teams. Most of them, I think, in the level of pro and pro amateur.
Okay,
So
okay.
so they are mostly active, and now they're still active pro racer. I'm the only one who amateur who never had any experience in the cars, but I'm trying to learn, enjoying it, step by step. Yeah, I try to get the feel with the cars and so on, to know the cars. Like when we race with the motorcycles, that you know how the tires behave, how the suspension behave, the chatter of the bikes, you know, when you try to turn the bike, but the bike doesn't want to turn. So that kind of feeling that I want to learn with the cars. I need to know why the cars is not stop when I want to stop, why the cars is bit while at the back or while I'm into turn, something like that. So it's a learning curve for me, but I'm getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the usual sort of variables are similar to motorcycles. You have the tires and
correct.
how the inner workings of the engine and whatnot.
Yep.
Suspension wise, tapi mungkin feelingnya you have to like
the big issue with the cars in Indonesia is the humidity of the track. It's very hot because inside of the cars is like above 40 plus.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very hot with the full suits.
Yeah. And berapa laps tuh Mas when you?
It's a 25 minutes and 45 minutes race.
Okay.
So the sprint is 25 minutes and the endurance is 45 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
So 45 minutes, about 33 or 34 laps.
Okay.
Yeah, around that.
Wow. Itu aja udah capek banget. I'm guessing.
So it's very tiring.
Water weightnya udah.
Yeah, because we are
sweating.
We're sweating a lot, right?
Yeah.
We're sweating a lot because now I know people in Europe is when they got the winter and all the other seasons is okay for them because the cars is cool inside, but in Jakarta, in
Mandalika pun Indonesia lah ya. So the heat is the main challenge.
Heat also one of the main challenges.
Wow. And within that time period, there is no water inside. You're just
can have the water system, the drinking system in the cars, but once I had with the ice and so on, like maybe after 5 or 6 laps, my drinking waters is like I'm drinking a hot.
Because it gets
serious, it's getting hot. Suddenly getting hot. I said, stop. Even the ice cannot handle it.
So are you looking to? What's your goal? Are you looking to become the next Michael Fassbender, trying to get to the top of the pyramid?
That's
It's inspiring.
It's very inspiring because he never raced before, but he loved track day as well. He loved cars and so on. Even though he never succeeded, finally at the end, Michael Fassbender drew the Le Mans 24.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not about to win it, but it's more like how you brave to challenge yourself. Yeah,
it's you against yourself.
Yeah, to be there is a very brave decision. It's not a coward decision to have. I mean, not spoil one. We can say that even though you have money to do it, but it's not about to have money to do it, but whether you have the guts to do it, right? So people can say, "Oh, you have money to do it. I can also have the money to do it," and so on. But there's a lot of people who have money, but they cannot do it. Yeah, and they won't do it. Yeah, they don't have the guts to do it. Yeah. You know, when people are really collecting, you know, some people are collecting more than 10, more than 20 cars, maybe more than 100 cars. But when you're asking them to go to the track, maybe they don't want to go to the track. Yes. They don't really have guts to do it. Yeah. So for the case of Michael Fassbender, for me, it's very inspiring because you say the story, you know, from nothing to become into that situation, you know. It's not an easy task.
So are you aiming? What's your personal? Are you going to the top of the pyramid?
For me to after this, maybe if my time is getting better and better, I will go to Carrera Cup Asia.
Okay. Yeah. That's already big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's already tough already.
Yes.
So because in Asia, the Carrera Cup is the opening race for the Formula One in Singapore.
Yeah.
And you cannot be slow when you are being an opening race car in the Formula
Opening
One in
act for
Singapore.
Formula One is serious.
You cannot do that.
Okay, interesting. So maybe we'll shift gears a little bit, talking about racing, to the race of life, and the career. So you're known to be a well-known lawyer. Like your background is mostly in as a lawyer. How was that? Dari, you went to law school and then you decided to become a lawyer.
I went to University of Indonesia in 2000.
Okay.
Graduated 2004, and I was before the graduation. I already what's it called, interns.
Okay.
I got an internship with one of the local law firm, but with the international exposure.
Okay.
It's not a big firm. It's a kind of small firm, but the exposure is quite good. So starting my intern for about 6 months, and then after my graduation, they offered me to join. Okay. So I joined them, and 2000 after shifting from division to divisions, right? Because when you are very junior, they tend to put you in the many various of divisions, industries. I was started from general corporate, and then they moved me to the mining industry.
I see.
And then I went to the capital market, and accidentally, one of the partners who handled the banking and finance back then was resigned, and there's a lot of shipping works, the shipping financing works back then, because it's shipping 2005 is very booming. It's one of the booming industry in 2006 as well. So I jumped in when I was a junior to help the case, but there's no partners to supervise. I was supervised by the MD himself. And then it's kind of stuck after that. So I'm doing shipping, not only the finance, but I'll also do the other things like the sale and purchase, the buildings, the new buildings, the contracts, the charters, and everything after that follows. And 2007, we merged with one of the largest law firm in Jakarta. And then in 2010, we separated and set up our own. I mean, back then the firms.
Okay.
And then I was resigned from that firm in 2011, end of 2011, and then set up my own in 2012.
Okay.
So until now, I'm with my own firms. So, but I'm mostly handle the shipping matters. Yes.
Okay.
Non-contentious, meaning it's not really done litigation, because we don't really have much litigation case for the shipping in Indonesia, but mostly outside, like Singapore and the UK. But in Indonesia, mostly we're doing what they call the non-contentious, which is morely like the corporate matters of the shipping.
Yeah.
Like sale and purchase,
right.
Doing mortgage, put it on liens, confiscation, sita, kapal, those kind of things. Building new vessels.
I see.
Shipyards. So I'm mostly to that. So because I'm doing that for 18 years already, right. That's why for now it's a bit. I'm not gonna say a bit arrogant on it, but got a lot of clients on the shipping industry, and, from the oil and gas through the bulks, even to the mining sectors. I have a lot of clients on the shipping matters. Yeah.
What was your so I know sort of I know a few friends who are lawyers. The ladder to move up is quite clear. And yang biasanya juniornya tuh kayak they work you like a dog, and then like between the partners cuman kayak ngerjain, but you want to become a partner or managing director someday. Partner lah. That's a dream, right? But what was the big break that sort of, or was there one case that was like, okay, this is like, this changed my trajectory?
That was, I think, we started juniors, and then they are promoting us to associates like after 3 years.
Itu standard
So it's
practice ya.
standard. And then after 7 to 8 years, you become senior associates. And then after 10 years, usually if you are good, you have your own clients and so on, usually they're promoting it to partners. So our firm back then was affiliated with Blake Dawson.
Okay.
Blake Dawson was the largest Australian firm. Basically, in all Australia, they are number one. So you name it in every city, from Adelaide to Melbourne to Canberra and Sydney, and every major city in Australia, they are the largest one. They are the number one. So back then, we are affiliating with them. In 2010, Blake Dawson was acquired by a UK firm.
Okay.
The name of the firm is Access.
Okay.
So we used to have a program with Blake Dawson. So it means that the partnership program is there, you know what to do and so on, what programs, what courses that you need to become a partner and so on. So when we acquired by the UK's, by Access back in 2010, all this program was changing. They said that we're not going to follow the Blake Dawson's program for the partnership. We have our own and so on. So they have to review back and so forth and so on. So after the acquisition of the firm by Access, I think, wow, this is going to take another 2 to 3 years just to get a review and then to get my name back on the list of the partners and so on. So I think I started to need to start a new fresh one. I'm not sure whether I'll join as an in-house or set up my own or join in other firms. So 2011, I start sounding it. And some of the big firms in Jakarta already offered me back then because they don't have the shipping practice.
I see.
When I was at my previous firm, they were number one in the shipping practice.
I see.
When I was there.
Niche-nya udah
so
focus
they know us as the largest shipping
I see.
lawyers in Indonesia back then. So when I whispering to the others, and I got an offer, got some offers basically from some of the firms because they don't have the shipping practice.
Ya, mereka mau expand ke situ.
So they want to expand kan. So mereka mau expand, mau join nggak gitu and so on. So very nice offer back then. So but I said, let's see what's on the table.
Yeah.
And some of my clients also offer as in-house.
Okay.
I think, but in-house is a santai, relax, 9 to 5, 9 to 6, 9. I mean, the routine is there, I mean, there's not much to do, right? Because like any other corporates and other companies, it's the same thing, it's very, what's it called, it's very routine. You'll not go
safe. Safe, routine.
It's gonna get bored after that. Especially from us, when we've been spending like 8-9 years in a law firm with a more hectic the ways of doing things. Suddenly it's very quiet. It's very comfort. I don't think it will fit me. So I reject the offers to be the in-house. And then suddenly 3 of my friends also thinking about the same time, thinking of the same thing at the same time in 2011 said that, Febby, are you going to resign? Yes, I said, why? I think I want to do so. So and then the 3 of us thinking, talking and so on.
Let's make our own.
Wow. Started out. I mean, back then, we have our best clients, right? I mean, it's not that so difficult. I think don't aim high. I mean, just aim as much as you can earn with your current firm. I mean, it's easier for us because if you put a high bar for yourself, and maybe if you're not achieve it, then you will be frustrated. Yeah. And then set up in 2012 February. Office fully running with all the peoples in June only.
Okay. And
then by September we already back all our investment.
That's why I started racing.
I said, wow,
it's time for me to start.
I'm not thinking about it since like 4 to 3 years back. I said, so because Yeah, you used to invoice clients for
Yeah.
the firms, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
suddenly you invoicing clients for yourself.
For yourself.
And then
So that was the big-
wow.
Wow.
And then wow, and then suddenly you realize wow. And then after that, yeah, the story goes on until now.
I see.
You met one of my partner as well, right?
Yeah. So okay. So maybe the flow was you got into a niche that was like growing and getting bigger, but then you made the big leap
Yeah, there was
of
the
faith.
big-
Was like
Was-
take
there
the
was
it's
that-
in a way entrepreneurial route, right?
Yeah.
Instead of working as a professional, you go okay, I'm gonna like let's do it
Yeah.
ourselves.
So it's kind of, yeah, I call it the entrepreneur. So now since last 2 years, I think the firm is already steady. The income of the firm.
Yeah.
You're not gonna add more people because a lot of people. A lot of lawyers. A lot of mouths to feed, right? So with all the competitions at the moment and so on, I don't think it's wise to make the firm bigger. So I'm starting to ventures in the industry.
Okay. Can you give us a little sneak preview?
So, yeah.
Like, is it a
So
Yeah.
it's a friend of mine. He's in trouble back then because of the COVID.
Okay.
And his father passed away. He's inherited the company, but not knowing well how to do the business with a lot of debts to the banks back then. So he's contacted me, help me for help. I'm trying to find investors to take over and to be a partners to the company.
Okay.
But since the company is a very red, it's not so good. The book is not so good. There's no one interesting, and they don't. People not really knowing this industry. Especially. You know what industry it is?
No, what
I
industry?
don't think you also knows about it this much. It's a cosmetic industry.
Okay.
It's not an easy one, right? Not every day we are talking about cosmetics.
Yeah.
Girls would definitely talking about cosmetics, but we are, as a businessman, we are not talking about cosmetics all the time.
Yes.
So
We also know on
Yeah.
the other side it's lucrative.
Yes.
Very lucrative.
yeah.
But-
so for me, it's
but,
like,
yeah,
wow,
it's a new
business.
challenge,
It's
yeah.
challenging. I'm not really into the FCMG business,
Yeah.
right? So I talked with my friends, got some advice and so on. So
It might be the next
Yeah.
chapter.
I said, why not we try it ourselves? I said, put our guy inside the company and control the company. So we decided to jump in to the mud. We call it the mud because it's so bad back then. So,
Yeah. This was a few years ago.
2022, early 2022,
Oh, okay,
after the COVID.
Yeah. As old as your GT3.
But the talk has
basically.
already started in I think since mid of 2021.
Oh, okay.
But we finally to decide to jumping on the case or what
Okay.
in early 2020. So it's been 2 years now, almost 3 years. We're back on track. All greens now. It's good.
Wow. Okay. Turn the company.
One of my clients actually one of the largest Indonesian public figure creating they have their own brand. It's Nagita Slavina.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Slavina got a products. So they made it in my so in our factory. So
Wow.
it's a good one. So we are back on track. So I
Very
think
nice,
after
nice.
2 very hard years, then this year is gonna be okay.
So just like Porsche Sprint Challenge, it took guts for you to jump into
the
that.
guts. Not every day you got a chance, and then sometimes the chance is also not that good for you. Just follow your heart. you know.
Yeah. Timing,
Timing as
heart,
well,
opportunity,
and
everything.
patience, and not just the patient, but your passion as well.
Yeah.
You have to know the business.
Yeah.
And some of the industry if you're not knowing at all, just better leave it.
Yeah.
But since this is something that you can learn about it, who's not using any cosmetics, even our wives or kids and all this. But it's a $1 billion industry.
Yes, huge.
It's very huge.
Huge. So I mentioned tadi when you were growing up, you do a bit of content creation, right? Not a bit, actually, quite known lah in the social media world. Are you still active with that? When did that start? Was
no,
it, were you after?
It was. I was starting it in 2017.
Oh, okay.
So back then, my intention was very simple. I think, even for now, I'm not sure whether you are aware of it. If you want to buy a used bike, let's say it's a big bike, right? So where are you looking at the reference to buy?
Online, probably,
Any idea
research the bike and then look on OLX, one of those listings, or
But
Instagram
back in
accounts.
17 it's very limited.
Okay, yeah, benar sih.
If you want, kalau kita nggak ngomong bahasa Inggris dan nggak bisa bahasa Inggris kan difficult.
Yes.
Karena mostly reviews itu basicnya ada di Amerika, kalau nggak ada di Eropa kan.
Benar.
And then most of the bikes kan dari sana dulu.
Yeah.
Dan ketika I was thinking back then, kalau gue mau beli motor ini tuh, gue taunya nih motor ini bagus tuh gimana ya, gitu. I mean after like a year, mungkin motornya bukan baru, mungkin motornya udah 1 tahun ada di market. And then, lo mau tahu, ini motornya kekurangannya apa, kelebihannya apa, perawatannya gimana, and so on. Basically, there is no local or domestic reference for it.
I see.
So
that was the inspiration 2017.
that was the inspiration.
Reviewing motor lah ya.
Review motor, told people, this is, and because I have some bikes, I know, this is how to treat, ini kelebihannya, ini kekurangannya. For people with the slightly less height, maybe below 170, I'm not recommending you to use this bike because it's very, very tall. I mean, you need to be taller to ride this bike.
Yeah.
And it's not convenient for yourself. So mostly giving some insights of if you want to buy some big bikes.
Bikes, yeah. Okay.
Nah, and then berkembang, nggak sadar ternyata become big back then, ya kan, become
di YouTube mas
di YouTube.
Okay.
Ya. Jadi gede, and then I love also to collect helmet kan.
Okay.
Karena gue suka pakai helm yang nice gitu-gitu kan. So, gue kumpulin. Tapi gue kumpulin tuh nggak semua merek. Gitu. Jadi hanya beberapa merek, dan terutama karena gue ngefans sama Rossi, jadi gue beli semua helm yang basically replikanya Valentino Rossi.
I see.
Gitu. Nah, and then suddenly become viral juga gitu. Orang-orang jadi ngikutin gitu, ngumpulin gitu. Terus akhirnya nge-review helm.
I see.
And then sampai satu ketika, I think it's about 2019 ya. Banyak produsen-produsen rumahan di luar sana, mostly di China lah, yang bikin helmnya tuh fake gitu. Jadi mereka bikin dari bahan sembarangan, tapi copy. Kayak China is very good at copying things kan.
Yeah.
Jadi mereka copy, dan mereka jual di sini harganya cuma 600.000, 700.000. The same design, tapi will not be that perfect ya. Gitu.
Yeah.
Nah, banyak yang beli. Unfortunately banyak yang beli karena gini loh. It is kayak mungkin zaman kalau orang dulu kita nggak punya uang gitu ya, misalkan kayak gini, gue pengen sepatu Nike deh gitu misalkan, gue pengen pakai Adidas atau pengen Jordan gitu misalkan, maybe your salary will not be afford to buy one, so you try to look for the fake one, same but fake, right? But harganya mungkin cuma 300.000, ya kan, lu beli di Taman Puring atau mana lah gitu kan, banyak tuh di Jakarta, di Indo pun banyak lah toko-toko yang jual gitu. But isunya itu kan beda, karena lo sepatu will not be harmful kan.
Correct.
Paling harmful to your ego kan. Ketika misalkan gue, Mike, is it real or fake one, Mike? Tapi kan paling cuma gitu. Tapi helm basicnya kan, functionnya kan untuk protection kan, gitu. Jadi even though it has a lifestyle on it, gitu, tapi dia lebih fungsinya kan untuk ngelindungin lo ketika lo naik motor, gitu. Lu jatuh, itu helm literally nggak ada sertifikasinya kan. Helm itu kan kayak kita tuh punya SNI ya, gitu. Nah, di luar negeri tuh ada ECE, ada macam-macam lah, ada Are punya sendiri, ada Snell namanya, kalau Jepang itu namanya JIS, Japan International
Standardization.
Jadi semua negara tuh adalah patokannya gitu. Jadi kalau di Amerika tuh DOT. Nah, ini kan maksudnya udah kayak kalau mobil tuh kayak ada NCAP, tahu kan? Kayak mobil test crash.
Yes.
Dapat bintang berapa, segala helm
yeah.
tuh juga ada, gitu. Sama itu ada test crashnya segala macam. Jadi kita tahu nih kalau helmnya jatuh dalam kecepatan berapa ratus, berapa puluh, kondisinya akan seperti apa. Nah, ini helm pernah cobain cuma dijatuhin dari lantai atas doang, dibuang ke bawah gitu, helmnya pecah. Gitu. So, can you imagine you riding the bike, mobil. Nah, jatuh, karena udah lari 100 atau apa gitu, mungkin kena objek apa segala macam. So, gue bikin campaign back then. So, gue bikin campaign in 2019. The campaign name is Say No to Fake Helmet. Gitu. Karena sebenarnya kan banyak produsen helm lokal ya, gitu, yang dalam artian nggak harus mahal gitu, but it's certified gitu, it's standardized, got SNI, tapi at least safe. Nah, problemnya memang lo nggak dapat stylenya aja, karena kan lo pengen Jordan tadinya kan, terus tiba-tiba lo beli sepatunya jadi let's say Bata gitu, misalkan gitu. Sorry ngomongin brand, but it's okay. Maksud gue kita nggak bisa compare barang yang murah, karena lo dapetin lifestyle di harga yang mahal kan, gitu. But at least for the function, still got the same function kan, gitu. Sama-sama sepatu, sama-sama helm, dan sama-sama buat safety, sama-sama buat protection. Instead of beli yang fake tapi malah bahaya. Nah, tapi sekarang udah nggak terlalu kok.
Udah nggak terlalu. So it's sort of similar kayak rem lah ya. Kayak you want the Brembos.
Yeah, the same
tapi
thing.
Tapi kayak okay, this is like the Chinese made.
Kayak gitu.
But you're not.
Bahaya banget kan.
It's actually
gitu.
very dangerous.
It's dangerous banget gitu. Sampai berani brakes dulu juga ada yang bikin di suspension.
Suspension ya.
Iya, semula janganlah gitu. Maksudnya itu udah part di mana itu hal yang paling ngejaga hidup lo gitu kan. Gitu. Jangan kayak
Don't
gitu.
cut corners buat keren-kerenan.
Okay. That's true.
So how did you balance waktu itu? So this was after you have your firm. Ya kan? And then udah mulai racing. So you had more extra time. Okay, I'm gonna do content creation.
Content was only being shot at weekends. Saturday or Sunday. So kalau content yang shot on Sunday, berarti I got family time on Saturday or Saturday.
One day of the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because review of bikes, you have to running, in Jakarta, traffic and so on. Takes more than a half days just to get one video, one shot, one episode. So after itu banyaklah brand-brand kan yang Febby review dong, minta tolong review dong and so on. So luckily it's good. They endorse me as well, so they paid me and so on, right? So this is nice. So I mean. Okay, my team back then dari nggak punya apa-apa, and then now you can buy GH5. I don't know the name of the camera, GH5 or something like that. Okay. We have this kind of fancy things, We used to don't have all these lightings and so on. Wow, it's good ya.
So you're still active sampai sekarang ya? You're still
for the YouTube channel is mostly on the project.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of requests to be back, but I still not have the time to do it yet. I see. Because there's so many my business projects. Right? Yeah. And for the Porsche Sprint Challenge, I made the YouTube channel.
I see.
So I keep updating it every after race. And maybe some of the projects, MotoGP and so on, but not the reviews and the helmet reviews anymore.
Itu udah nggak. I see. Okay. Well, very interesting. So we got to hear about your career as a lawyer.
So this is whole my life in like
this is But that's what we want to know, right? Now maybe the story udah cukup jelas dari Mas Febby, your career as a lawyer again, as your content creation and your business into cosmetics. Now is we always touch upon the things that people don't really talk about much, the struggles, the philosophy, what got you through the hard days and everything else. So the last segment biasanya we talk about your philosophy in
is it
life.
A sad story? Part of the sad story.
It's a sad story. Okay.
Not really sad.
But
the struggling story of it.
Yeah, the struggling. What got you through the I mean, a lawyer is one of those days, one of those things. Maybe the generasi sebelumnya, at least my generation before me, my parents' generation, it's like I think you have to be a lawyer, a doctor, or
yeah. Police ya,
yeah,
or civil servant,
the basic inilah.
PNS ya kan, pegawai BI.
Yeah. So it was one of those core occupations, right? But of course, competition is also quite fierce. And so, what would you say is a philosophy that you kept through those dark days? And what were those days like?
So I was from just a normal family, not a rich one, not poor as well, but just a normal one. But we are very in a very remote area in the Sumatra in Riau.
Okay.
It's back then just to go to Pekanbaru, it took you about almost 2 days to reach Pekanbaru, which nowadays is only about 4 hours.
Okay.
Because there's no road back then, it's
Okay.
very remote. Everything by ship, by vessel, by boat. But luckily, because we are very close to Malaysia, all my childhood memories, products and so on, basically Malaysian products. Whatever, you name it, from the soft drinks, milk, cigarettes, whatever it is, mostly Malaysian products. So all of it Malaysian products. But I'm not really been touched by what happened in Jakarta back then. If we are talking about early 80s.
Okay.
So we don't have cars there. Motorbike is a luxurious thing. So after the SMP, and then gua sekolah di Pekanbaru SMA. It's not basically SMA. It was a nursing school. I was a nurse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a nurse. And supposedly back then, because it is a government school, right, under the Ministry of Health, di bawah Depkes waktu itu, di bawah Departemen Kesehatan. Dulu masih Departemen Kesehatan namanya. Kita itu harusnya begitu lulus jadi pegawai negeri.
I see.
Being placed in the very remote area as well. So we have to go desa-desa kecil gitu loh. Kalau sekarang tuh orang kayak ke Papua gitu, yang very remote.
Okay.
Yang gak ada nakesnya di sana gitu. You have to go there being a nakes. But after my school, I'm not sure why I didn't pass the exam for pegawai negeri.
Okay.
I don't know why, but after that gue kerja di one of the small clinics. And it is owned by a yayasan, and it's more like it's a small business company, but yayasan kan, it's a small business gitu. And then I learned business and something. And after 1.5 years, I think I will not be in these things, and I have to move to Jakarta and do something else. And then I know some people said, ya just coba aja apply masuk UI. And saya bilang, fakultas apa? Try hukum. Very nice. Oh ya, being lawyer baby nice. Then I go to sekolah di hukum. Here, duluan masih anak kos-kosan, everywhere we go, naik Kopaja, naik roller and so on. So, very struggling in Jakarta, but luckily I still got...
Sendiri waktu itu? No,
sendiri.
Sendiri.
I got sisters, but they got their own family. Right?
Yeah,
I live my own course, and then luckily I still got some brains, right? So because of this brain, and then I'm a sort of like a mentor to my friends, giving them lecturing, giving them some insight of the tests and so on and so forth, making their homeworks, So these people are basically providing me with the luxuries of Jakarta lives.
Okay.
Back then without having money and so on, gue udah bisa party di CJ's.
Wah, itu keren
banget. Gue udah
banget.
bisa ke Zanzibar, gue udah bisa hard rock and so on and so forth. Pokoknya gue udah bisa ngalamin di zaman gue kuliah, gue udah ngalamin itu semua gitu, yang which gue nggak bayar.
I see.
So they paid me with this kind of things, mereka jemput gue pakai mobil. So gue kemana-mana akhirnya jemput pakai mobil mereka.
Okay.
Setiap gue naik Kopaja apa naik bus kota. Tapi ya gue masih kerjain PR. Gue masih lecturing mereka ya soal kasih tahu.
Okay.
Until 2004 when I go to intern, then I make my own money. Right?
I see.
So that's how the struggling back then. I mean,
So would you say the network and social?
I was
Setting
luckily I was
point.
good at that. Luckily, I was good with the networks. You know, some of my friends are very very nice as well. You know, they introduced me to people and so on, knowing that I'm not born in Jakarta. I'm not Jakartan. And then sebagai anak perantau, and then I have to know my place as well. So work hard, you know, to know people and being good what you're at as well. You know.
So if let's say there is one of our followers or viewers mereka lagi mikirin, okay, maybe merantau is not easy and all that stuff. What's one message or like filosofinya lah? What's a message that you can pass on yang kayak, okay, you have to. This is one thing you have to keep in mind.
Nothing easy as kita anak perantau ya, yang pasti ya, being far away from the family, being outside of our comfort zone, you know? And then you have to believe to yourself what you want to do. I mean, what is your goal? Back then, sebelum gua kenal teman-teman gua segala macam itu, you know, that people driving BMW, Mercedes, Ferrari back then. I said, "Wow, I should have them one day." So I said, "I'm gonna have them one day, right?" So all this thinking basically kan your dreams, ya kan? Ya thinking about, oh maybe suatu hari kalau gue lakuin ini mungkin gue bisa dapetin. But doing it in a proper way, ya, not doing it in a negative way. But thinking about, oh, cita-cita itu kan yang akan sebenarnya bawa kita mau kemana sih, mau tujuan kita, our dreams kan. So, I mean, Jakarta is a city of opportunity. Everything is here. Gitu. Semuanya ada di sini. Even for me as a lawyer, I cannot go in other cities because that opportunities will not be there.
Yeah.
So
this is the place to be.
This is the
make
place
it.
to be in any kind of business. Any kind of business. So jadi ya saya buat yang merantau sih nggak usah takut sama mimpinya. Gitu. So long as you commit sama apa yang lo mau dan you know setelah lo pilih apa yang mau lo kuasain dan lu mastering ya gitu. Misalkan lu mau masterin bidang apa, misalkan gue mau masterin bidang misalkan finance gitu, banking gitu, ya udah being good at it gitu. Some of my friends are bankers now, they're very good, they're very rich, because that commitment, right?
So set up a dream, follow through, and push through,
And committed to it.
Commit to it. And what was would you say that was one of the hardest moments in your journey? It's adjusting, finding out.
Well, it's very hard at the beginning because I'm alone. I mean, I got sisters, but not really that kind of help. No one here. I mean, I have to find out who I should be friend with. You know.
Did you learn to read people? Is that a skill? Okay.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of funky people here.
Eventually, at the end, I have to learn, right? I have to know about who's my opponent, right? Whether it's in a good way or a bad way.
Yes.
So I kind of knows that when I talk to people that, I don't like these people. Even when I giving advice to my clients, I said, it's not a matter of the business. I said, we just my gut's telling me that this is not the right guy. Right? Our opponents, your future partners is not as honest as you think. And some of the cases it was proven the business not run out.
I see.
So
gut feeling still plays a big role juga, even in the professional.
Some of my I advise my clients, it's a bit odd with this guy. Something is not.
It's not right. Doesn't check out.
So,
interesting. And what's so you have a family now? You have
I have one wife and 3 kids.
3 kids. Okay.
1 daughter and 2 sons.
Okay. What would you say yang you'd like to pass on to them? Yeah, maybe something yang a lesson lah atau kayak something yang you guys really, I want to build this foundation for you guys based on your life experience.
My principle sama anak-anak tuh sebenarnya simple. For me because gue bukan dari keluar orang kaya dari awal kan. Gue bilang. Jadi gue bilang gue nggak akan manjain dengan materi ya gitu. But everything you need I will provide because maybe my parents will they don't have the capability to provide me back then, but for me now, if I can provide you with the necessity of your living, I will provide, but not in materialistic kind of things. Jadi gue tuh nggak mau manjain kayak, oh lo mesti punya iPhone terbaru gitu, lo mesti punya iPad terbaru, lo mesti punya sepatu ini, lo punya sepatu itu. But once a while, misalnya, once a while lo deserve something, hasil sekolahnya good, and you want this, ya, gue nggak yang, oh lo mesti sekolah mesti pakai Alphard, gitu. Kalau sekolah pakai ini gitu, nggak gitu, doesn't have to. Maksudnya kalau ada ya ada pakai gitu, but kalau nggak ada ya you don't break it for it gitu. Gue nggak ngajarin mereka because materialistic itu nggak ngedidikan. Di end yang lu must find is your own happiness. So materi bisa dicari gampang gitu. Maksudnya I also try to think. Gue udah pernah cobain lah. Maksudnya ternyata nggak semuanya we talking about materi itu yang misalkan kayak lo punya beli something baru gitu. Mungkin for a week or 2 weeks happy about it, man happy about it. Maybe after a year it's just like, aduh ini apa sih gitu. Kayak gitulah. Jadi maksudnya ya it's a momentarily happiness gitu. It's not lasting gitu. Maybe lasting, maybe your good relationship with the wives, you know, your friends, you know, to have some small circle with friends who are very good. That kind of happiness is, I think, is much valuable rather than to be really materialistic on every kind of things. Itu yang gue coba ajarin ke anak-anak gitu. Jadi kadang-kadang ada judgement gitu, kan lu mampu ya gitu ya. Kok lu nggak kasih gitu? Gue bilang bukan itu intinya sih gitu. Maksudnya anak gue aja kayak misalnya gini, kayak kemarin baru ada kejadian ya, handphonenya tiba-tiba rusak. Gue bilang ya it has to be fixed gitu. How many months? How long bro? I think it takes another month or 2. Ya udah selama 1-2 bulan tuh dia nggak megang handphone. Dia pinjam handphone adiknya kalau mau main dan so on. Gue tuh nggak yang langsung, oh ya lu harus ganti, nggak. You have to know but cara itu harus begini gitu. Ada masanya gitu. Kalau emang lu lagi nggak punya, ya lu nggak rasain nggak punyanya gitu. Jadi jangan rasain punya terus gitu. Nanti ketika lu nggak punya, lu nggak got used to it, and then lu depressed.
That's true. Karena I sometimes I mean, relatively, we could perceive you as someone who's made it successful ya Mas ya. You have your own law firm. GT3 udah lumayan lah bisa dibilang. But the hardest lesson to teach the next generation is that hardship that you had to go through.
Iya, itu udah terbukti. Even not now. I mean, it started from I think the last decade. I think since after 2010. Back then we call it kid, nowadays is different ya. Itu benar. Even in my industry, the law firm industry, the lawyers industry, people come and go, you know. Kayak yang benar, kayak yang dicerita-cerita kadang-kadang ada orang bikin meme atau story journal and so on. The people sekarang kayak anak-anak tuh kayak, aduh gue mesti healing lah apa. That's so true. That's so true. Kayak sometimes kantor gue tuh kayak Awis training center, gue kayak begini. After 3 bulan mereka kabur, bilang 3 bulan. Kan lu capek ya, gue bilang. Kalau lu nggak ada komitmen and lu thinking about future and so on, I think better you don't start here because I don't want to waste my time just training you guys. And then lu kayak waktu loncat gitu and so on. Dan it's so true. Anak-anak sekarang, wah, they don't really respect us like us back then in 80s, 90s kalau kita ketemu bos kita dulu kan siap bu gitu kan ya pak gitu langsung kan bos kita ada kita nggak mungkin pulang kan. Lawyers itu kan dulu kan very apa terkenal itu kayak istilahnya datang pagi pulang pagi kan gitu. Ya sekarang nggak gitu di law firm gede tuh kayak kita dulu tuh, wah ini kalau nggak selesai nggak pulang-pulang aja, kita biasa pulang jam 2 pagi, jam 3 pagi. And then kalau bos masih ada tuh kita nggak berani banget mau ngapa-ngapain. But nowadays it's totally different.
Udah softer ya, in a way.
Emang generationnya different. So we cannot push it as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I have to adjust with the times juga kadang-kadang in understanding that.
Yeah, kan?
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
you experience it. So.
Yeah. I think I'm in the between generation, mas. Kalau saya, but I do experience
Yeah.
that juga.
But
And I think technology has played a huge
Yeah,
role.
yeah,
Technology
very-
has played a massive role in
and
that sort of
COVID,
mindset.
because of
Yeah,
COVID,
and
you don't have to
COVID
come
and everything
to
else.
the office, because there's so many
Unprecedented lah.
informal
Yeah.
industries at the
Yeah.
moment. You know, the informal industries like apa ya? People doing trading, people doing
Yeah.
EOs,
Yeah.
people doing apa startup business and so on. There's some informal business and
Content creation,
content
and all that,
creation,
social
and they don't
media.
have to go to the
Benar.
sit in the office
Yeah,
like
yeah.
us, like the bankers, like
Yeah.
the lawyers and so
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
So it's a changing the dynamic of the business and the people as well.
Setuju, mas. Well, I think we heard quite a lot from you today.
This is
Thank you so much.
My 46 years of life in 1 hour.
Kayaknya mesti another episode for the other informal things yang kita pengen dengar, but
I don't know, so followers nanti bilang nih Om Feb ngomongnya apa?
enggak lah, enggak. No. We love it because I think also why we do this at the same time is people see the glitz and glamour all the time, but the story behind is what matters. You know?
Gue juga bilang orang kayak gitu, men. Ada yang memang glamour dari awal, dari lahir udah glamour. Ada yang hard works to be glamour first. Ya semua orang punya story yang berbeda.
Setuju. And nothing is better than the other. Even yang glamour dari awal.
Yeah, kan. I'm not choosing born being rich, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. So
Yes,
I'm not choosing being poor as well. So that's the fate. That's the destiny of our life.
Yeah. Well, usually we close this off with yang kita panggil lightning round.
Okay. What's that?
So pretend you don't know what I'm gonna ask you. Just quick answer. Just to know a little bit about you a bit more, nih Mas. You ready?
Yep.
All right. So 2 options, langsung pilih satu aja. First one. Sunday morning ride or Sunday morning drive?
Okay.
Which one?
Sunday morning ride.
Okay. Still a motorcycle. MotoGP or Isle of Man? TT.
MotoGP.
Oh, okay. Ducati or Kawasaki?
Ducati.
Porsche or Ferrari?
Porsche.
Oof. Okay. Desmo Sedici or NSR?
Desmo Sedici.
Okay. And last question. So we always ask this to our guests. So more of cars, yeah. So you're at this stage in your life. You have your 3 kids, you have your family, but you have no cars in your garage. You have infinite money. Hack. Okay, but you can only pick 3 cars. What will they be?
Should be a family car.
Which one?
I think with infinite money, I have a touring car. I think I should go with the BMW M5 Touring.
Oh, the new one. Okay.
That should be good, right?
That's one. Okay.
And
Maybe one to go through the banjir and all that stuff that you like. Which one would that?
They should. If you're living in Jakarta, you should have that one as well. I'll still go to the G.
G63 atau masih yang diesel?
Yeah, G63 is better.
Okay.
Tapi the GEV, the new one.
Oh, GEV. Okay, I like that. Ganjil genap.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the M5 Touring.
And the other ones.
Last one?
Maybe the sports car. It's infinite money, right?
Yeah,
so
infinite
I
money.
can choose whatever I want.
Yes.
So,
For Jakarta.
for Jakarta.
Don't forget.
For Jakarta. They use the wearable. I mean, the usable one is more like. I don't know. There's no one who's riding sports car every day, so I think I'll go to Pagani.
Whoa.
I'll go to money, right?
I like that. Okay. Excellent choice. So we have the M5 Touring, we have the G63, and a Pagani. Which model, Pagani? Huayram. Well, not a bad choice. So there you have it, folks. Mas, thank you so much for
Thanks
your
so
time.
much, Mike.
It's an honor. Thank you, Mas Febby.
pleasure as well, Mike.
So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode with Mas Febby Sagita. So anyone in shipping, anyone who needs a corporate lawyer, you know who to go to.
Thank you so much.
But it's a pleasure chatting with you. And again,
Pleasure
thank you
as
to
well.
Regent Residences for this wonderful view,
Yes,
even though it's a bit
wonderful
hot
view.
today.
It's a bit hot today, but
Unfortunately.
the view is very magnificent.
Amazing.
Can't believe it. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's like seeing Jakarta in 360 degrees.
360 degrees. Yes, absolutely.
true.
Thank you so much, Mas Febby, again. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you, Mas. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Mas. That was.